Emagaro bengi ya umwanchu muri Kisi TV asingo kwaria ni asa ya tigiri Chinsa Inye chutuko bwarero engaki omugusi no mukenyo mugimali geretia sibonge ya Senate elikone kinga ningi kyari uchokorekanira omugabana we county Nyamira muske amu muminyalibo na ayo asebunge kekiyetire ya nyarire wetianga taliko genda ande onsi ayo na andamange egati yabo ujumbe yo mugabana nyalibo mayaga ye bunge ye Senate kutanga ta koisiko onsi ko koleterana senchero wikiranu asike kekerbosio gonkuru kwa Kevin Ombori
aya na ya tekire chinga kiechi ime ya Kisi TV
we county Nyamira muske amos kimwomi nyalibo niganyorero moyeso mayaga ye bunge ye Senate kwa mwanga taliko genda ande onsi yemaga ya MCA be bunge iyo kwa mwanga akwisiko wetrase engane yibaithia se bunge no mweli wa yekuyira se bunge ya Senate yasiachaka gukwanirwa litukulia lero asigikale kiyo yekirona nabo bunge bonsi gosigire kurunga plenary igo aba ayogilitangani kyane kyo kungusana egatia ba senator wasengane yonko genderere gukwanirwa egende busyo gosetangwe asikirie watebanga tekerene tirichiko korengana na baria baringe kumwegerera umugabana Nyalibo turigirichinkwana chwa senator.
There might be issues, and indeed listening, because I happen to come from the region, and I know that there are many things. Remember, Mr. Speaker, in this House, we've entertained and even listened and tried to reconcile two factions of the same county assembly that were sitting in separate parts of the county, Mr. Speaker. That tells you that there is a problem in that county. But before we get there, Mr. Speaker, we unfortunately must ask ourselves whether this matter is properly before us as a House. That is a question and the import of this motion. And makes the point every day that we must remind the executive, we must remind our county assemblies that we cannot make law, because that is primarily what we do in this House, and then lead the way in violation of the law, unfortunately, Mr. Speaker. And as such, Mr. Speaker, when a matter such as this appears before us, we must be satisfied that indeed there was proper procedure that has been followed. For
both parties are not in agreement. In Kerichoma 1, we all remember, both parties were in agreement about the number of MCAs who had participated. For your information, leader of the majority, if you go by the presentation by the governor, it means 23.3 people voted, which we round to 24. But if you go by the persuasive argument by the county assembly, it means in the absence of those three, only 21.3 people voted, rounding it.
Again, Mr. Speaker, I asked lawyer Katwa Kigen a question, and I wanted to learn from him. I'm afraid I did not learn a lot. At what point does a membership of an assembly determine? Mr. Speaker, you cannot tell me that a constitutional and legal requirement is a moving target. That becomes very tricky. That becomes very, very tricky, Mr. Speaker. Because then what it means is this. It means that because us as a Senate, we vote as 24 delegations, if there is a vacancy in one delegation, then we must lower the threshold for voting. It means, Mr. Speaker, because the requirement for a presidential election is at least 24 counties, Then if for some reason one of the counties does not participate, then we should lower that threshold. The Speaker, I am sure, and I will still need to talk to legal counsel at some point outside this chamber to understand how legal requirements can be moving targets that we keep.
Okungusarano ko kwa baseneta niko kwarenge igoro nga ibere igoro ya isato ya ababunge gusaba MCA be county ya Nyamira niko yabwenete kubarwa asaba MCA 35 wenete ko basebungeria gusina ba MCA 32 nyuranga wikengaki omuswada buku mwaka isikonya libo ringe wetigwa kwenye aba MCA batatu mbare ngaroro asenge nchibiro byabo iko byatikirete bosa kiriye semu ya Nyamaiya Nyansiongo na Monese Merie Kerenyo na igo abaseneta bange barwa ibirengere byabo bakorwa n'umuseneta we county ya Kisii umusike Onyonka amunori we county ya Nyamira umusike Okongo omugeni.
Members of the County Assembly have constantly disagreed over the issues in Nyamira, and on several occasions different individuals have been blamed for the issues that have been happening and the things that have been happening in Nyamira. I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining those things. Mr. Speaker, even when that is a very complex and maybe completely political issue which needs to be sorted out, I stand and defend my positions based on the law. If the law is what we have decided to follow as a people who want good governance and administration, who want to provide services to their people, then, Mr. Speaker, we really have to agree that we are going to follow the law. My wish would have been that we listen to all the charges that have been brought, but then that means that we would have preempted the discussions about the issues of the PO and indeed the rest of this case. My suggestion would be, if members of this House feel that the threshold was not reached, then we accept that as a position. And the problem that I was unable to interrogate, Mr. Speaker, was that in Nyamira, there were 3 members of the County Assembly who were not there when these elections were taking place. Not the ones who traveled, but there are about 3, I think 2 were having by-elections the other day, and 1, I think, had passed on. And they had not been at the Assembly for close to 2 years. So what many people were asking me as I was sitting here is, the fact that these people who've been at the County Assembly have only been 23, what does it mean? My worry is, if you are going to impeach Mr. Nyaribo with 21 or 22 members of the County Assembly, and this House convicts, there's a likelihood the court will actually refuse to convict. And Mr. Speaker, what I would want to encourage my colleagues here is that let us follow the law and make a decision whether that law is good or bad. My point, Mr. Speaker, is that we have set precedent, and the precedent is there on Kericho 1, there's precedent on Kericho 2, and all that precedence does exist. But I also, Mr. Speaker, wanted to mention that I was very impressed with Katwa Kigen's argument that when you have those people, if they are 21 or 22 in the County Assembly, does the law actually allow them to then vote because they're the ones who are sitting there, or can they then even vote through proxy and continue making the arguments they're making? So my argument, Mr. Speaker, is that if the law, which is that the threshold should have been 24 members of the County Assembly, and that threshold was not arrived at, then
and the interests of my governor. Just Speaker, having sat the whole morning and this afternoon, I have no doubt that the matter before you is fairly complex, but it requires Solomonic wisdom. If we are not careful, Mr. Speaker, we may end up damaging the reputation of this House. In 2013, Mr. Speaker, Chief Justice Mutunga was faced with an application by the late Prime Minister Raila Odinga to introduce evidence before the court to be heard before the Supreme Court before a decision is made. Raila Odinga was denied that chance. Up to today, Chief Justice Mutunga has not recovered. I think, Mr. Speaker, if we were to apply some delicate balance and make a decision that is just, a decision that is measured, a decision that is creative in ensuring that we are seen to be a house that dispenses justice, let us allow members of the County Assembly, can you add me? Oh, sorry. Let us allow members of the County Assembly to present their case, Mr. Speaker, they be heard, and then the senators will be given an opportunity to pass a verdict, Mr. Speaker.
Maiga yokumusano ko kwa baseneta iguru mubaro obene obwenete kumwaka isikusi kumurusyaroro omugabana Nyaribo Koera nigo bunge wesomo speaker webunge ya Senate Amason Kingi aroli baga ababunge abo waka chikura na inyuranga ekero omuswado yoeti wase bunge ya Nyamira abaye musieme 23 no bagete kura ku mwaka isiko Nyaribo asigolende okumusana kwa machikwane kiwanga mbare bagote bangamba rwete ibaga wakirwa achikura asiri bagarya gusaba ngao gwakiru chikura batayo nabo igo asebo igo okumusana kwa ngi gorunga ibere igoro yeshato yabaye musieme 35 anganigo babone tako babaye musieme 24 natali 23 na mwali yakire achikura ichiakwa omo speaker Amason Kingi onyara kuroma chibu na kwene kinga Nyaribo tariko ndande
38 votes, nays 4 votes, abstention 0. So the ayes have it. Now, honorable senators, I have a communication to make regarding the effect of the vote on the motion on the preliminary objection. Now, honorable senators, the motion having been approved, the hearing on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Amos Kimwomi Nyaribo, Governor of Nyamira County, is hereby terminated. Further, as you will recall, the Senate at the sitting held on Tuesday, 2nd December 2025, resolved to alter its hours of meeting on Wednesday, 3rd December 2025 and Thursday, 4th December 25 in order to investigate the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Governor of Nyamira County. In these exceptional circumstances, and pursuant to Standing Order 1, I direct the clerk to circulate a further supplementary order paper containing a procedural motion on the hours of sitting for tomorrow, Thursday, 4th.
Bono tiga turigererie egatia mocho ayo muskenya libaringe komo chigwana ba musiebe bunge county ya Nyamira kuirera okurusiwa kwa yabisi abayemusi aboni go bamucheti asamo chabere elimo lirelyo kubuna lichi ko gose katiba nabo igo elyo ko na mamincha nesiko yobisi yae asamo mochayo onse litangani go liarenge ogoeti nabo igo wanchera okobaro ogwa bunge mashinani gose bikaro byange korekana mashinani bya bayemusi yalingi mamincha yeli chiko nabo igo asogwanchera ogoeti we budget yo mwaka o 2024 hiyo yaitatiwe na bunge mashinani yeta itaikereneti lichiko na boigo wali komochia ase okomwa emeremo Dr. Peres Nyaboke Oroko oinaindo kwa Peres Mongare buna omowaziri we county hiyo mamincha lichiko mugabana nyali boigo ni gani komochiwa ase ogochora na kubeka ba member be municipal board elia ye county ya Nyamira na boigo e town ya Keroka boigo komochiwa renge ase ogoetia na kubachora aba member be committee gose board yali kulika bakora imirimo be county ya Nyamira gose county public service board na boigo nigo boigo bakomocha aso komochora umunyakerogo omuliki amona ba member be board yo kulika bakora imirimo be county ya Nyamira limocholinde elinya libane ngekomochiwa ngamo noko mochinga e county assembly nigo yali komochinga iga sinyetwe gose tanya wikarana se bikaro binde byonsi bye bunge elyo gukwanira ebunge iyo asikiriye ko nga state of the county address na kurechira boti cha kiro mwaka waige bunge county ya Nyamira yali komochi mugabana ase ogotabwatiri chiko gose wikirani ogochika wekigambiro igoro yoko ewemeremo gwa Clive Owora una omowaziri we county ya Nyamira asiensemo yoko na mamincha ne esiko ye obisi yaye gose abuse of office mugabana nyaliboni gani kekomochikwa ase oko lika bakoli mirimo abwo batayiri e budget gose ari kulika bakoli mirimo lakini budget yetayo yoko ba emeshara boige gotebekananga igari ngigosana no kuliko kwa bakoli mirimo ase county yiyo na akuyirira aboigo gosona na nonyene nchira bari kuliko no wako ni meshara chibesi chigotebekani chinde cyane ngikuika ase mibuko yaye ensemo nayo boigo nigako mochikwa ase oko moseri emirimo oyorengo muliki bwe ebodi elyo kulika bakoli mirimo be county ya Nyamira Murigalere nigongo chokwa libaga lyabene kuigwe nkwana yo mugabana Amos Nyalibo ya kwanire keke ya itire mayaga ye bunge ya Senate wetinga tariko yanda ndi gusikumurusire mu machayi abekiretwe ne bunge ye county ya Nyamira asago kerige tambukerekyo na kuliyere guchikwendera kwa limirimo emiyago cyase abanyamira
Lero iga Jumatano tarehe 3 ndwabwate sitting ye Senate Senate yagambire korumambia wakabona iga saa 3 onere karibu saa 3 yarue uamuzi kwamba ekina nkiabe twenjere ndonge iga mangana anda mashtaka atubiriwa mbali iga nkoboria abantu baito banyamira Taba mamuno montoyo mo totige bitina totigo kogengwa atoko uchomoni chinke naende uchimotwe kimuranjirane nje ninde tayari okore gase na inwe mwambe kere impeachment kabere eneria gatato naende asenge njongeire gasi yoko bwatania abantu banyamira nana wachegionde bwensi ase aikere bono mbuya musu nogoto mumanye no mokene no bwatirigwa mwaigure igo jakera bono nje ninde tayari tubwaterane ase nje abantu banyamira no ti ase nje bocheuri bwaino igo ndokwa na mange
hii shida ambayo tumeletewa na assembly, tumeletewa na wanasiasa. Tunashukuru sana kwanza kumba gavana wetu amepita. Na kama gavana wetu amepita, hizi siku 2-3 ndio tumeona marafiki wa gavana ni akina nani. Mimi mwenyewe kwanza nishukuru wale wote watu wa Nyamira ambao tumeshirikiana nao. Pia nimshukuru gavana mwenzetu gavana Simba Arati ambaye tumeshirikiana na yeye. Na ni muhimu sana kwa sisi watu wa Nyamira na watu wa Kisii tunataka peace ikue ndio maendeleo ifanyike. Alafu pia kwenda mbele tuambie assemblies kama mnafanya impeachment lazima mfuate sheria.
We want to thank the Senate for upholding the rule of law and the tenets of constitutionalism. It was very clear, as we had indicated, that this motion of impeachment did not meet the threshold. And the threshold I'm talking about is the 2/3 threshold, which is provided for under Section 33 of the County Government Act. This issue of threshold and the element of removal of a governor from office, I will say it is sui generis. It is unique on its own, unlike any other motions that are passed at the county assembly, which in most cases will be a third or majority of the third of the members in the county assembly. And this is a very good precedence that has been set. Much as the Senate didn't delve into the issues of proxy, we have highlighted, and you could feel that the element of proxy does not exist in the Kenyan laws. So we want to really thank the Senate, and we are very happy that they have agreed with us, and they have upheld the integrity and supremacy of the Constitution. Thank you so much.
Aseri tukoria lero tore no mogoko asengenjo amangana akorekana ali assembly ya itarenga amangana yo maene njebuna nyangana nalinge tiari kumira na borobu gekogera ekura tingageti ebachite bakafuchi siri gacha yane baka ngakira bono gwikira na goteba yonta etiko una nachite polisi ngobwata no musiko geto egera ngerese nkia ko ngakire kura na ende na mutomete
tina so broad based na the broad based tari yongo yo join ne youths babo soro no jende egento kiare ngonek aswan koragera na bantu bane bagaje timeti ngo bagere sim bagaisanzo karagera amo igonto abwata mangana ndokwa ndia mangana senate ndokwa ndia mangana broad based na endese kaba na broad based to kwana ngete ngo kwana no manyene party okorwa William Ruto osewari wate neji party tari ebi muraiga ebi murana bingo gamara birobya eria kabere yonte nena botamu ngo kwana obo mobusi ekauri yane tego change na ende neba ne party ekorwa mwerekeo yongo sanza ne party ne bwata organs twagamba na ntwa consult n'abantu baito twamenya ko mubuji muti otherwise iwabo linkeyo ekiarange ganetio ogosaini ngaganetiki okogamba na ntomana ki obokimobezani kitoko butorerwa lakini ntora arenge ali nseme
Maiga yege kore kiane tigwe wesikiane getigwe wigoro isiko ye bunge ye county ya Kisii asaba MCA batatu banyorete bokong chingaki echigari chiabo chia nyarete gusaligwa n'abantu batamanyekaneti aba MCA ubare boss mairura bwe wodiria masimba Nicodemus Mwamba kuri assembly yabo chiburabu nabo igo Thomas ubare kuri butangale abamenyi bensemo ya abo chiburabu ni golitukulia robe sokia na kwimurungani ngoro yege kore kyo asebo igo bamochia okosuka maego soko bamayega kwa magendero assembly yo kubatika no kumusarana kwa gisiasa kwa birego ko nekiwa gatyo mu MCA abo amo no mu governor we county ya Kisii Musike Simba Arati okwa nabali kyamangana bamenyi benseme iyo nigo babuliri Musike Simba Arati gotara no nyaseme iyo korenchire yerere maega kubatika no kumusarana ku kwa birego ko nekiwa gati yabo no mu MCA Nicodemus Mwamba
Kende kina botobete muna baochi kiagera omwamba achori na baochi na bakomurwani ne chikuro bakwa muno mwamba ire egendo nyara gocho kosaba Simba akore arwa masikani ekiagera aya achore tumuno mwamba achorire ebinto byeto byabochi byarengo egesima kyanya bongo gekabekwa gekarusibwa egesima kyamose sama gekarusibwa kibesa kyachitenya gitari ya magena sikarusibwa
Bono intuyo tuachorete tumanyete omwesimiwa oyo Nicodemus Mwamba nero tuachoreta ase bochi burabu gwoti wone kera magendera siekire twagosoroire Simba Arati koranche igo siekire tomochi omugima amagendera akoma mogaitaine na no minto Nicodemus Mwamba omochi ni gabete yo sieketa magendero bono 2027 nyonya komenta kokoraiga one time toriti kogera one time
Omo wana endo rio gwakirite kura ngachenga kana igwete na Simba netaya ngamanyanga netaya anitari taya na ale gochora niko na ale gochora omuntu gochugututuguta chira cha okwaliete ngai kwaliete gochi ne chira kera kwale koli no taroche kera kwale gochiri gose kwa betere tu gochiri nonya kwalenge no moyo bwoko konya ninki otagokonyera abana inchi bense emeyega elinde naye kiagera no semere tu chikoe gwe kure round ende elinde kure yonyonyore kura yaito tokonyonyora onya tokora magendera ndonsi one time and that is all.
Omochi aigwa magenderera aye muneganirie egere na into to feel happy ngantu agete kura tukamigwa na ndi ntu bwa to mokari all in place egere tekene na ndege geti abantu barugura ngo tebi Mr. Arati amakina le sa kor konya misocho water project okaro geti chibesa kyokorosia macha iyo kaki twarora egekone abantu bachandikite bakogenda 2 kilometers kobucha amache kore moya ya muno mochorwa Okisi County egabana kibese chiokwa ngokwa na ndega yakorosie gasi iyo mbwanjo chichote byabochi barabu okogani kwa ngakikore
simi wasimba etotagete ochabochi apologize asabochi you apologize asabochi ikiagera kwa wagosei omwesimi wo mwamba twachorete kobochi amagendero sipiote neneti amagendero ya mache amagendero y'echipara amagendero y'enyagitari aitu ya magena twasabire abasae babochi baranyora miremu ibakona kwangaika iko utoligereri bunantu abasae tonyore miremu na andu ingorera amagendero bochi agenderere
gaki nagusabire simbarati gaki na itu torigereri buna bochi barabu bali twakwaete chikura na itu gaki utoinyore ngantorororo gaki tigago
na kurwa senseme yabo chiburabu igotokana kukase wodi ya Masimba asibo igo mwe MC wodi yo boss mairura na regari ya nyarete gusari gwase kuri kyabeta wigoro asibo igo abana inchi bake barubekaneta wigoro na komochia egekorekyo baigo abamenye bensemo ya hoteli ya buga igotokase wodi ya Masimba itukuri ya robo igo barubekana na kuboria nga ukungusana kwa gisiasa kugenda kwene kiwaga tia boss mairura no mugabana Simbarati kunyare wikomo elio ili banyare konyora amagendero igo baburiringa okungusana kwa gisiasa gatia barayi bagusi kunyare wikomo elio egera abananchi batige kumia
kubwatekana n'ekigari ky'aba MCA be county ya Kisii gosaligwa buli tukuri goro igabamenyi korwa sensemo yo hoteli ya buga banyarire gwesokia na kugikeria chiburaburu cyanyate kwenekwa sumu cyo Masimba asibanyarire gosaba abantu kwenekinga ngomenya bale no morembe na gotiga chisegi chinkabune chyo
ambio ito tigatotebeng'a esegire ko basi Masimba tiringia na indege ntokerororo etokwenda echiro chiro abamura aba baito na abana baito ngakibona abana baito bakwenda barwanigu na enda abana aba baito nigo tubabege tororo batobogori nande barete na ene sukari nyumba itanga nigo togosaba amabera kwetera korwa somo gafano ito tosaba amabera gocha soyo mto posi
Pamosaba omwe MC obo post mairura gotigana n'ekisegi ekiga kyage siasa ekyo kigasene kwene kikwagatiere n'omugabana bwe county ya Kisii ngabono nere buya barabo babirego chamo na kwene kinga abantu ba Masimba banyorira amagenderero
abano itesegi ye igate tokogeti igo yabete esegi embe nande etabwati machibu tigatoteba ninga intwe abantu baminto torasobwamo togendereramo nekirima rigeito mugambi okeboki mugabano itongwa toinyoreti ngotoretera macho hoteli ya buga gakyo mugambi itogenderere gotoretera egere na intu tonyora amache egere na intu abangina twagotire mtori konyara kwenda roche chipara cheito igo chisarigete twakoganiri boss mairura neke mwana ototeri erina turanyore nitokora na Simbarati toretere amagendera mna kulingana mwato tebeti monyore boda boda monyore abale mafu na
abamenyi abaiga ba Masimba bagendera kurira na goteba egeka ky'emyaka 15 yerire nigo babeire bagotwara ba MCA sensemeiga bakoba etamwe yemo abo bonsi bagendere gotwara chisegi n'abagabana be county ya Kisii koirera egwodi ya Masimba kogendera gotigara magigasa magenderero
ndateba umurayi umutangane ogarugiruri yenga nere tese musebe nabarwanetie omugabana orengo so ntwanya ore tegende yonse mwe musho mutangani akoro kwa choshoro nena bajete gisegiga abantu ba Masimba tukayibuza edia kaberi yenga rigaso aro twajete myaka 5 kusai
banyara gosaba barayi kwene kinga ngochigosikana bare nabo iga barayi abaiga gotigana n'ekisegi ekiga chinke ekero igo banyara komochia baria bonsi banyate korusia amagwa goseria bachogi korwa ase town iga ya Masimba kwene kinga na barau bairanirio moremba ase town iga na gotiga chisegi ekiga chigendrete kwene kigwa ekyo baigo chianyara kwene kigwa nyonya ne mambia yeri tukoria rero
Simba ito yatigire gesunte taribo iga bana baminto amagana ria kore kaleta Masimba tarenge maya nchegendo yo kanale gosaba bara yaba minto yatosika bara ibaito bari iguraria aya no mwe MC asikengo Simbarati mwe MC asiko mugafana no mo gafa nasike ngo jojo kwana mangana mange amanga tatunya mangana ya beta tatunya giekeri mangana mabe nato sabo kwabira
aba muraba kalmu no boda boda bagacha bagatura maru bagaga amagu bakagenda jengo tebanga kirine gente kebesana
kuroiga asesemeiga yoteri ya buga egwe gotoke me amasimba gwo de mebunge ya nyaribali masaba elietari ya neigongoro kwa Dan Msungo
togotigana na yigo tokwenda sensemene ya siasa maiga yechibicha korekana se metandao asaba MCA abaye abachorwa se county ya Nyamira se wodi ya Nyansiongo wodi ya Kerenyo ni wodi ya Nyamaya kororekana bare ase chibicha no mugavana we county ya Kisii mugavana we county ya Nyamira Amos Nyalibo amona babunge Silvanus Yosoro amona Jafet Nyakunde na ingana wose ujumbe kororekana achi koranda se metandao ngande yake igo basoire asensemeria ya serikali igo ba MCA abo bakora wano mu MCA Kristo sie Munyamaya na wigo Jackson Jeremiah Ongaro kwa sensemeria Kerenyo na Jackson Mugusu kwa sensemeria Nyansiongo besokiri na bukana boronga barabo mbara tigana na sensemeria ekubwata sio moske Dr. Fred Matiangi na waswa serikali igo ba mujiri wali bakora ndiye mangana yina batubanga nayo bolimo na nigo batigirete kwa maiga ya Matiangi.
Hapa tuko na msimamo mmoja. Msimamo direction yenye Matiangi imechukua, hiyo ndio direction tunafuata. Kitu ya pili, watu wetu waliumia. Watu wetu walifanywa madharau. Watu wetu walidhalalishwa huko Nyamira. Tunataka kukemea hizo vitendo zenye serikali imefanyia watu wetu. Alafu kama serikali itaendi kutulinda sisi wananchi wa kawaida, ni nani atatulinda? Hata sisi ni walipa ushuru. Serikali ifanya haki kwa kulinda watu wake wote. Sisi ni watu wa moja. Siasa ni siku moja, zitutenganishe, tusimwage damu. Siasa si mwisho wa maisha. Wacha tufanye siasa safi, kila mtu afanye siasa yake. Mwisho wa siku mshindi ni mmoja. Mshindi walipatikana ni Dr. Fred Okengo Matiangi, kwa sababu hii vita haikuwa baina yetu, ilikuwa baina ya Fred Okengo Matiangi na rais wetu William Ruto. Saa hii Okengo Matiangi ameibuka mshindi, na wewe kama wewe ni mshindani, ukikubali kama umeshindwa, kubali umeshindwa. So tunaambia watu wetu wa Nyamira tuwe watulivu, tudumisha amani, na wenye wanaleta vurugu nao wacha sheria chukue mkondo wake. Kwa machache, mimi nashukuru watu wangu wa Nyamaya Ward wakuwe wapole, kwa sababu sisi hatujabanduka kutoka mlengo wa Okengo Matiangi. Sisi tuko nyuma yake, tunaendelea kumsupport hadi mwisho. Asante.
Asanteni sana. Mimi vile nimesema ni Jeremiah Ongaro, mjumbe elect ambao ni wa Kerenyo. Msimamo wetu ni kama ya kwamba vile vyama ambao vimetuleta katika bunge ndio tunasimama. Hakuna haja ya kuogopa, tuko hapa. Hakuna mtu yote ambaye anaweza kutushawishi katika hali ya kuingia kwamba tuingie chama chake kama kile. Wale wanaume ambao mliona katika mapicha, ile ni mahangaiko. Katika hali ya kuhangaika wakanakuja ili ya kwamba tuwasamee. Bado watu wetu ni wagonjwa. Bado watu wetu wako hospitali. Bado magari walituchomea. Bado hata wametuhangaisha mpaka sasa. Bado tuko kwa stress. Under normal circumstances hakuna njia ambayo inakuja ati tunaingia broad based. Katika hii ni mwaka karibu wa 3.5 broad based serikali imekuwa ni nini imefanyia humu Gusii. Kwa hivyo hii msimamo ambao humu Gusii amejitenga na amejiandaa ndio msimamo ambao tuko pamoja. Ni lazima wa respect katika njia zote. Hawa ni ndugu zetu wachanga. Sisi sio vibaranga ya kisiasa. Tunaelewa ni wapi ambao tuko na ni wapi ambao tunaelekea katika msimamo wa ndugu wetu Daktari Fred Okengo Matiangi katika hali na mali katika njia zote. Asante.
Tani beobisi yo mugumira bwe county ya Kisii muskie Donya Doris Sabuli litukolia lero niko basanga na abantu bali batari kwenyara gusyo gwato barema ase umunyega korekana asamagacho a culture hall iga ase county ya Kisii gukwana na balikia mangana nigo baire sanga ikirenga kiabo ne koene kinga bakoreribwo ofisi y'omongna donya ya ukeire gusebwa ikeire bali bonsi babwata magania bene ase county ya Kisii.
Okay.
Asamari tankoro ku Felistas orengi kokora ne kiumbe koro ku it as well CBO. Serero tungigo celebrate International Day for Persons with Disability. Mtu aba no mogoko konyora obokonyi kurwa se women rep na other stakeholders au banyara go konya abaremafu na kuba semia na kibata keira komenya ase chinka chiao. Pause.
Asingane ndebune iyo wikasa semeria South Mugrango ikiombe gya Ethel Foundation litukulia lero nigo gyatwara egeikaro nabagotu kurwa senseme iyo ase baria gusebarwa ujumbe ya ngokugani ngoro kwa abantu barabagotu ase tomenyete kunyara kurendo no bigokurigerirwa buya iryo banyare gwikiranirwa amagani ao boigo bamochege kore asa bange wokagiranga abagotu nigo bare abarogi
kuishi na yenye tulikuwa namaanisha ni ile ya
ritukoria rere kiombe gyo kwegerera abagotu gya Ethel Foundation nigo barigania amagire Chinsa Inye atabaka imeye bunge South Mugrango county ya Kisii iri gosemia abantu igoro yobuya bukorenda nabo igogotugeka abagotum ase ikenyoro.
Kwa majina ni Felistas Ndonye, nafanya kazi na shirika ya Ethel Foundation for the Aged. Shirika letu hutetea wazee. Leo tumekuwa na training ya kusensitize wazee wa kijiji about the challenges wazee wana undergo.
Cheze ngoro kwa Helen Kiriama igango kwa na kurwa igase egodi atabaka igatwarenge igakurugoro na rero twarenge tau to kubwatirana n'abaminto ba Ethel Foundation twari gukwanira nene igoro y'abantu baita bagotu na gituranyare gukora tubabaigiriri tukwigera abantu baito abagotu
ase nkwana yeye maseye moni gobarekerenga kiabo ekenenem yokwaligania amaigeria yo.
We are trying to form ambassadors of older persons so that the older persons cannot be ignored in the community. They have the voice to be able to do everything they have. They have the voice to feel included in all the projects. So today we have ambassadors. We have been able to give them full training on the activities that they are able to do. And also they can be able to know when an older person is being ignored.
Iturigeretie mechanda bagotu bagwetera na intu twarorenga tigatobe abaigereri babanta baita abagotu ekogera na intwe obogotu na otorochie ekero na intwe miaka ya itera ike buna baba minta abagotu na tunyara abantu baita bagutwegerera
nonyana begatia bali abekana sekare kioni gobene kebunam amegira inigara chikoba ayengincho mono ase magimabo
mafunzo twanyorire toroche ngato konyire na togochikonyara kwa tokorinda abagotu aba gose bari bare immediate people baba gotwa bagochiko bakonya aba gotumbaga niri kurigereri gubiya boroke bwanchani
ka twanyare ko togosoma lituko sesemine muna togenda gosoma twanyorera aba gotwa mbo gwento gwikwange banyako baba ko wendagira na kuwa mono tutari kuimisanyo ne sirikale seba gatubali barororo banyara ko baba gwikirwa ikie twanyore nase kuira aba gotwa basinye gitari kunyara ko baba baguchaywa gosebatu gwatri ko ba consider so kurwali gubiya asinge twarige na esirikala itu nabona antulike korona na kibara konyu igo twanyo na wetera sekiombeke ntonyara ko batukwimisa abaminta bange erinda abagotu banyara ko bakurwali kwa asinge gweneto
chinga kechioni go barega tieme chanda abagotu bagweteram gwikanonya ko ngachua koba abarogi
Julius Kamo etwakira semineye igo twaligerie mangana amange abagotuba gwetera konyorore batigire batari konyara kwa bagwikirwange karo bare gosaba rwire gosekero batete konyore ndagira
je ngoro kweniri mugendi oyo buriri na inje nonare nga igesemine igengi yatwagokire ese bintu yakorire yatworokiri abantu abagotu gobaguchandika batigira ase chinka onda atari kubakonya nyone birengereri abange bangakiru abandi ngana barogi busaiti botayo erio twaita abantu bali bagwenerete gutworokererie amangana y'obukoro twabaita bali moyo igo egento nari gosaba nkeringa osokonyara konyo mogotu kiagera mambi na intu ngocha kota tole tosinyu kogenda tosinyu gukora nyone ibire togokora
kuripoteri ya Kisi Television kuro igase ward ya Tabaka yigo toke meye bunge ya South Mugirango kaunti ya Kisi Iriana Nkamilas Ongeta
Biyamono Mosa Kito Kamila Songeta a Sorowatiuro okorera yonkwereni bakasa mangana siasa ase umuragwe kyama ya DCP Rigathi Gachagua atugutira mangananga igatebange birugo byonse birane byoburaya se county ya Nairobi igo ibonete koirwa ne kyama kya ya DCP ase ngencho Nairobi igebwate abayiko yabange igaya kwana yaiga inga kyari kwarigania wa MCA abayiya bachorwa wetira se kyama kya ya DCP kurwa se chiwodi au ase boigamo chia egekore kyabe atitwe Jumapili ase nsemeria Kariobange ekero abasaganetwe asaringe usa asime kanisa na akuruterwa chitiagas.
The matter is that we were attacked by goons under police supervision and help. How do you report that police were separating gangs who were fighting and you are there yourself, you are tear gas with us? Let's be professional. I have a lot of respect for Royal Media and I'm a fan of Royal Media, but I want to register my disdain and disappointment with Stephen Leto for that fake news and narrative you filed on Sunday. And you need to correct.
Igoni gavali gania mbunge Babu Wino no seneta we county ya Nairobi Edwin Sifuna waswase kiama kia ya DCP asate banga ekere kiama gia ODM kira baserie mbali gandigo swase kiama ya DCP asinge nchiko kere gia Keromo Kenya.
We are in talks with Kalonzo. We are in talks with Wamalwa, with Natebea, with Malala, and we are brothers. You know, if people think that they can create a wedge between us, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka led the DCP campaign in Magarini. That is how close we are. Tupigie Kalonzo makofi. Na mimi nimemwambia my cousin Kalonzo Musyoka, wewe ndio umesaidia ODM Nairobi siku hizi yote kuchukua viti. Umewasaidia kuchukua Mathare, umewasaidia kuchukua Kibra, umewasaidia kuchukua kila pahali, wanakuachia kiti moja. Nimwambia kuhusu Osibi unisaidie vile ulikuwa unasaidia ODM. Iko makosa gani kuhusu akinisaidia? Iko makosa? Na mimi siwezi kuwa kama hawa ati tumwachie moja. Sisi we are fair. We'll sit down and say where DCP is strong and requires Wiper support, Wiper will support us. Where Wiper is strong and requires DCP support, DCP will support. That is the arrangement. But you see, they want to create a narrative, oh, DCP wants to dominate Wiper. Nonsense. We are very strong partners. That is how Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka took over the DCP campaign in Magarini. That is how close we are. That is why in Mubuni North, the people there called me to address all meetings on phone to support the Wiper candidate. And you know, people are trying to think that they can get Kalonzo away from the united opposition. You are daydreamers. And Kalonzo himself has said, the spokesman for the cousin movement is Rigiji. So, if William Ruto wants to take Kalonzo, you come and talk to Rigiji. And William Ruto, because you come, you are tribalist. The day you come to Amunyoro, you come with a translator. Si ndio? Si anasema si ni wa kabila? William Ruto ukitaka kuongea na mimi ukuja na translator.
Gwikira bumwe nchimulilio KCTV no nkubuturira amangana maya butukubwa rero ayatikire Chinsa Inye mbuya muna soko bananche na igongwa kambia mwana wichasi bali bonsi baligani chiriboti aho asabali kibaito kwene kinga yonsi awikira senchira yo wikira no wika bwankyo yandra kuligiri pindi bindi bitigarete imya KCTV onkuru kwa Kevin Omboli.
Aya na yatikire chinga kiechi imya KCTV.